Welcome to Tribal Council. We're all here, and JP was last. That's why JP's on the bottom. Last to join us, JP. I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're here before I am.
And I was trying to get in early this year today because I wanted to see what the fight would be about tonight.
No fight.
I forgot about the fight.
It was just for anyone interested in from last week. It was a really eventful week. We did actually shed a kid this week, so that fight was the beginning of my nearly 20-year-old saying, "Okay, I'm gonna go out on my own." All right, good luck to you. Mm-hmm.
So that's how you get them out of the house?
Mm-hmm. That when they can't follow the rules and they start beating up on their younger siblings, that's time maybe that these rules are not for you, and you can go make your own rules. So,
yeah. And life's a lot harder out there by yourself.
It is. Things are easier when mom's making sure everything gets done for you. So,
exactly.
That is
awesome.
awesome.
You all make choices. So
that is awesome. So you basically Ethan'd one of your kids.
He was snuffed out, but it was his choice. Whatever. So we have 5 kids. We are now down to only 2 in the house. So this is practically a vacation now.
Wow, it is a difference.
And they're the 2 easiest ones because they're like, yeah.
So you're down to a tribal vote.
Yeah.
You're down to jury.
Oh no. I will always be the final 2, okay? So
you have the power.
I am the Rob. I am the Rob father of this family. So
well, you brought up Rob, and yeah. we might as well go right to it.
Yeah, let's go.
How this guy has been to 3 tribal councils, 3 tribal councils, and has yet to get a vote. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
He's not got a vote yet.
How is
that possible?
I was just reading a story too where Jeff Probst was even commenting, why is Rob still in this game at this point?
I don't know.
And
I just
it's not why. It's not why, it's how.
Exactly.
How?
Yeah. These are not new players. These are not like the time he won where the people were just in awe of him and just let him do whatever he wanted. I mean, he controlled the game because that's what he does, but in the past, he's always had players that were savvy and said, okay, I can't beat him. I need to get him out.
Right.
Now, these players have all won. That's the unique thing about this season. They've all won before. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, okay, obvious choice. I go, Rob, he didn't come through again in the puzzle challenge. They don't really need him. They're not winning anyway. I'm going to get rid of Rob. No, we're going to go after poverty. And then Adam screws up. And then all of a sudden becomes Ethan. I go, Ethan? I love Ethan. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite players of all time. He's the kind of guy you hope that you could go out and have a beer with because he's that cool and, in person. But as far as a strategic player, he's no poverty. He's no Rob. He's no Sandra. I don't know why he was voted out.
It's almost like because they were even saying that they wanted to break up, the Ethan, Rob, poverty little group there. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Let's vote out Rob. Let's vote out poverty. But it's almost like they just want to do it, but let's kind of dance around it and just vote out like the safe vote out.
Well, it's like instead of taking out Rob's legs, they're like cutting off his pinky finger.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean, is that getting rid of Ethan, is that really hurting him? And if you want to hurt him, just take him out.
Right.
No, because you saw it on Twitter all day, all night last night. If you want to weaken Rob, take out Rob.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because not only that, because you have Amber who could possibly be helping him. I mean, they may not all know that.
We might not figure that out yet.
But some people are getting. I guess it's been really going to the other side. Only Jeremy, I guess, has gotten something from Natalie. But still, it just I'm just like going. I agree. I love Rob. In fact, I hope Rob wins it now.
Oh, sure.
But the longer you keep poverty, Rob and Sandra in the game, the worse it gets for the other players. Because if you have the numbers and you're still timid about taking out Rob, it's like when Rob came up to Jeremy and Michelle and said, "Look, I know it's poverty. Don't lie to me. My first thought, all right, we need to get rid of this guy, and they just buckled and said, okay, yeah, okay.
Jeremy starts doing this to him, like I was like, is he gonna try and lie to Rob because he was just like,
yeah,
trying to play off like you don't know what's going on, dude. Oh no, that's not.
Yeah, but on Boston Rob, I do.
Work. It was like he was gonna bluff him, and then he didn't. But
yeah, but if Rob had come to you with that kind of attitude and say, yeah, that was Adam's plan, I would have gone to Adam. Okay, look, we need to get rid of Rob. If he can do that, and he basically changed the vote because, well, Adam screwed up. I don't know what Adam was thinking. I think Adam is trying to play all sides. I think Adam's already in jury management, because why are you trying to please everybody? Now this is Survivor. I think especially a player like Rob, Poverty, they're going to have more respect for you if you play the game cutthroat than if you try to, I'm going to play both sides and make everybody happy.
If they're more direct players. So I don't know if that's necessarily cutthroat, but they're very direct. You've seen every single thing that's happened on Rob's tribe, Rob has been involved with, and he will literally just go up to people and just point blank talk to them. I mean,
because like Rob,
the first day Ben and got Ben to spill all the beans. He'll just go up to you and say, "So I hear you're, and people are disarmed by that. They just they crumble.
I don't get it.
It's almost like, I mean, all these times that Rob has played, you would think all these other players have seen all these stories being posted, all these conversations being had where everyone is saying, why didn't you take Rob out? Why didn't you take Rob out? Okay, now you've got 20 of what's supposed to be the greatest players ever. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about strategies. Let's just take a step back. Okay, we're going to tribal. He has no way to defend himself. Let's not worry about alliances or anything like right now. Let's take out probably who is one of the best players, not in the game, but at least on our tribe. The person who is going to get there. I mean, he'll find a way to get to the end.
Yeah,
I think he's even finding it right now.
Well, he even said when he had the confessional after Adam talked, he goes, "This guy has seen every episode I've been in.
Right?
Does he not know how I play?"
Right.
It's true. It's like you can't go to Rob and tell him, well, this is how, you don't dictate to Rob how the votes should go. Well, I want you to flip on Poverty. That's not how it works.
He's going to turn that around and flip it on you.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam is lucky he didn't go home.
He really is. I really thought it would be him. I really did.
If they wanted to take a chance, they could have taken Adam out, because I think Adam is a dangerous player as far as his strategic gameplay. But I don't know what he was thinking. The plan should have been 5-0 Rob. I mean, Poverty. We don't have to do anything else.
I really thought the other side, the non-old school people, were going to absolutely go for Adam because he had gone straight to Rob and told Rob the plan. And by the way, when you are a group and you have one that goes off and tells the other group, you go, they can flip it anytime. They're playing both sides. They got to go.
They are.
I'm really surprised they didn't go for the Adam.
They're also still keeping those numbers where they can.
Right.
If there's a point where they do want to just turn on Rob and Poverty, they can just do it at any point.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's why they went. I think that's why they finally decided on Ethan. But to me, still, I'd be like, God, if Rob has that kind of power over Adam, who's in all hindsight smart. I mean, he was with Denise. Oh, don't give Poverty the half the idol. Don't do this. I was just shaking my head all last night, going, I don't know how this. Because I honestly thought Rob would be one of the first ones voted out.
Well, and also the other reason why it's better to get him out now is if they keep him around for too long, Amber potentially has a way of getting back into the game, and now you've got two people working as one playing the game.
Right. Plus, he is good at the challenges. He could go on a run in the immunity challenge, the individual immunity challenges, and start knocking people off there. It's just, you have to get, like I said, when you have a chance to get a great player out, you have to take that player out.
Now, see, I wonder if, like, so we're looking at it from our own points of view, right? None of us have ever played. Definitely none of us have ever won. And I wonder if it's a situation where, because all of these people have won, have all made it to the end, have all made their pitch to jury, have all won a jury over and won.
Right.
If somehow in their head they think they understand things that are going on more than what is going on, do you know what I mean? Are they all
that they know more than we do?
Like they all have do you think they all have like this false sense of like, oh, I got this? And they all think they can take those people out at any time?
It's kind of how I do this show every week.
Carol says they really hid the Ethan vote.
Oh, they did.
Absolutely.
They did a great job with that, especially the way it was, because when Adam came up, like the third vote, you see Rob go, then Ethan. Ethan is like, oh, come on, not Ethan. I love Ethan.
And even Ethan's face was like, what?
What me? Why me?
Yeah, really.
Why not the other two? But no, that's a good point that, maybe I'm sure, well, to win the game, I mean, you have to have, obviously a lot of these people have egos, and you're saying, well, I've won Survivor. Maybe I didn't go on here 4 or 5 times.
Right. But I've won as many times as Rob has.
Yeah, but she says it's also nice to see Christy. But no, I get that. But if you've watched the game, sometimes, maybe you won because of circumstances. I don't want to keep bringing up Michelle, but Michelle, if Michelle, her first time, didn't go to tribal for the first 23 days.
Right.
She's already been 3 times. So we're actually having to see her do some strategizing, which is also, which could potentially upset someone down the line. She didn't have that the first time around. Right. When you go 23 days, you've got no blood on your hands. It's a lot easier to play the social nice person game.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I've never believed that Michelle didn't think that she earned that. She totally thinks she earned that. Don't you think?
Well, she said yesterday, she goes, I know a lot of people think I didn't earn it. And right. They are showing, I mean, I get it, she won it, and you can't take that away from her. She wouldn't have been my vote. Mm-hmm. But that's just the way, I mean, there's a few times I wouldn't have voted for that person, but it is what it is. But no, to me, there's always like I said, any sport, anything in life, there's always someone better than you. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have Michael Jordan, but you also have some great basketball players, but they're no Michael Jordan.
Right.
And that's where when you got, like I said, poverty is one of the strongest. She should have won twice. She should really be the queen instead of Sandra, I believe.
Yeah, but I was going to just quickly say, if you're playing a game of horse with just basketball players and Michael Jordan, the first person you're going to try to eliminate from the game is Michael Jordan.
Right, because he's tough to beat.
Right.
I mean, I don't have this coach mentality. Let's take the strongest with us, and no, screw that. I'm here to win $1 million. I want to beat the weakest. I don't care. I don't care who I beat, as long as I'm sitting at the end of when they give the check. I'm sitting there with the big check. I don't want to. I don't want to face the best. I want to win.
So
I think Shaq is a better actor than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but George's a better free throw shooter.
So of those 3, of Rob and Poverty and Ethan, who was the weakest of those 3 in the challenges? Do you think they thought? Because I wonder if did that affect?
See, I think Rob has displayed weakness. I mean,
I think he did really good on that puzzle. They nearly won, and they were way.
Yeah. That's the problem. They're always far behind when they get there. And last night it was Michelle that was kept, because remember, she had trouble getting through that thing, mm-hmm. and the other team had almost already dug out the ladder before she even finished the. So yesterday it was Michelle.
But then Rob also couldn't get the ball in the rope.
No, he couldn't get in there either. So. Yeah, he hasn't been great he hasn't been, but he did come back, like Chrissy said, he did come back in the puzzle challenge and make it close.
So, I mean, last week he kind of biffed the puzzle real bad. And then this week he kind of was back on his puzzle game because they were super behind. And, I mean, they were seconds away from winning. I mean, they almost had it. But I did love the amount of times that Jeff kept saying, Rob can't get it in.
Yeah.
Rob's trying to get it in.
Yeah, he's trying to stick it in.
Yeah, it was really great.
I go, Jeff. No, but you know, Ethan he's not the powerhouse he was, 15, 16 years ago. He was a great athlete. Then he's just I don't know.
He's Michael Jordan now.
Yeah. But I don't know. To me, as far as gameplay goes, I don't want someone like Poverty and Rob, especially on the same team, working together, and I got to work against them.
Yeah,
because other players are intimidated by him.
You almost have to, just like I said before with Rob, you take him out now, he can't get back in. Either only him or Amber can get back in. You want to also try to take out any of those. Have faith.
No, she is not. There's no way. Mm-hmm.
She almost solved the number puzzle.
At least she was thinking outside the box.
Right.
She was thinking that there was a clue, and she was trying to go through it. She was mentally trying to go through the things, but.
She was. I mean, at least I would have thought of that. I don't think.
I want to know when did Survivor suddenly become escape room?
Then I should be on that island because those are good. I think those are good clues. I thought they were good ones. Really good.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
But
and Natalie is tearing it up over there.
I want Natalie in the escape room.
I said this before. I think Natalie, if she would have got voted off early, and she could still get back in the game and win this,
right? She's
one of the best players.
She really is.
She's very smart. Very. I mean, she's conniving. She's in the same league as Rob, Poverty, and Sandra. She just hasn't played as much. But that was a good getting her voting her out was a good vote because she's another one. If the longer she stays in the game, the stronger she gets. That
first vote though, we were all like, why her? Why her? But maybe,
they know.
And she's over there tearing it up. And she knows the great thing about if she makes it back in the game is she knows exactly who has what.
Right.
What advantages she sent over, she knows exactly who's got what. So if there's still people with advantages that she's given if she gets back in, she'll be able to go, yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, she's
I
also, what I was going to say too is that I'm assuming that somebody or maybe more than one person is going to be able to buy their way back in. But I also think at some point there is going to be a challenge for somebody to get back in. And the way that she's just knocking out these puzzles where she's now able to sell something out there and ranking in those tokens, what might be too weak for her to get in through challenge, she's probably going to get back in just through payment.
Maybe.
Or you buy a huge advantage with tokens.
An advantage in the challenge that gets
in the challenge, maybe you get a head start or something like that, because she's a great player. I mean, she's like you said, she's just dominating the, and like to break the shells up and all that stuff, and for them not to even go back, wouldn't they go back up and check Amber and Danny saying, "Oh, who got this?" Or do you lock it back up?
I have to assume that probably is what happened.
She got up there, as soon as she got it open, she screamed super loud, and I was like,
yeah.
But
why weren't the other people just on top of each other the whole time? I wouldn't let somebody go up there alone and try to take.
I'd be camping out there.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
But I guess we didn't. I was waiting for them to show up, but I would have put the back in, reset the thing, and and locked everything back up.
Oh, sure.
Maybe she did.
I'm sure she did. She's not stupid. I'm sure she did.
Yeah, she's pretty smart. Carol says Natalie's her spirit animal.
Interesting.
That's not a bad spirit animal to pick. So
no, she's. I'm trying to remember who was the strongest. Her sister or her in the Amazing Race.
Ooh, I don't remember.
I don't even.
It had to be. I don't remember, but Tweenie.
Yeah,
that's the only thing
I remember.
Used to drive me crazy, but I loved her on Survivor. In fact, if she doesn't win this, I hope they have her back somewhere down, some kind of other, maybe All Stars or something like that.
Well, she's definitely getting an opportunity to prove herself right now to viewers.
Right.
Well, absolutely.
If you didn't remember her before, you're going to remember her this season. And
what do you think of Jeremy's gameplay? He's very under the radar. He's playing basically the same game he always plays. Very under the radar. I think he's making the moves because last night people thought Michelle was the one, and I go, maybe we shouldn't see it, but you think maybe Jeremy was a
little. I agree. He was a little.
He was a little. I don't know. I don't think we've seen a lot of Jeremy, in my opinion. Nothing really sticks. I mean, he gets some confessional time, but it's nothing crazy or.
I think there's more happening on that tribe where Jeremy is almost like under the radar. I want to say, he's just kind of sitting back and letting them self-destruct a little bit. What do you think, Jack? Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
You can't interrupt. I don't know. You're right. There's so many other people.
I wonder if this is still recording.
Jim. There's been so many other people getting screen time on his tribe.
Right.
He's suffering screen time just because clearly they're editing. Things might be going on with Jeremy, but we're not seeing it because they don't have time for it.
No, and he still has his advantage. I think on his side.
Oh,
there we
go. And that's why I think he's going to win the game.
Yes, I agree. We're going to go all in.
Right. Yeah, and those are the spoilers.
All right.
That's cool. I'm sorry I got booted out. I'm like I could hear you guys. But I said, why am I getting booted out? Why? Where am I going? Anyway, you gotta love the internet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was talking about Jeremy. I think I was saying that is he the one making the moves behind the scene without getting any blood on his hands?
I think he's more or less sitting back and just letting it all happen around him.
Yeah, I don't know that he has to really make any big moves yet.
Because Rob definitely looked at him after the vote and just stared him down. Like, I know it's you. I know it's you making the moves.
Rob stared Jeremy down?
When Ethan he turned and just looked at Jeremy.
Okay, yes, okay.
So I think Rob knows that Jeremy is being more of a player than he's letting on, because Jeremy's you would know this, JP. He would be a great poker player because he doesn't blink.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's not going out, well, we got to do this. He's not one of those rah guys. He just goes, this is what always very calm. He's a great player, very calm. But was he letting Michelle stick her neck out and get her hands, bloody, and not let him do it?
He's, that's a good reference. He's almost like, he's in the bunker with everybody else, and he's almost letting everybody else stick their head up to see if it's safe to come out.
And that's what he always does.
Right.
He doesn't have to do a lot of convincing. It was pretty early on that first episode. I think that they, at that first time they went to tribal, didn't they discuss the whole old school, new school thing? And it was like, no, there's not an old school, new school. No, there's an old school.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So there's an old school, new school, Jeremy said. So I think once that line was so strong, I think that they can just kind of, he doesn't have to scramble to talk anybody into it. They know who it's going to be.
Right.
It's not anybody in his group. So since they have the majority. So maybe he doesn't have to scramble.
But I think that's a smart way to play, though, especially with this group where again everyone's a winner, has won before. You don't want to be that guy going. I mean, it works for Boston Rob. It works for some other players, but you're not going to intimidate everybody.
I think at this point, you just don't want to be the person who's running around in panic mode. Or I think in Adam's case, it almost felt like Adam was like trying to play both sides. Here, I'm going to give you some information. I'm doing you a favor. Here's where we can make our move. And then boom, it's, even though it didn't flip on Adam, he, unlike Jeremy, Adam showed what his cards were.
Yeah.
Right. And again, he did it, like you guys mentioned, he did it without telling his group.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see their face, like even Denise was like, he did what?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? Why? Because now they're all like, well, this could backfire on us. I mean, I don't, when you have a plan, the old key thing, stick to the plan. Don't, and I said, Adam is lucky. He's lucky to still be in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And you know what? If they lose next week, it might be him.
It might be him, yeah.
It needs to be poverty, but if they fear that he's going to continue to tell their secrets, they definitely aren't going to be taking him in and talking to him and letting him know what's going on.
Will we have a tribal swap here soon? Or are they not going to do that this season?
It seems like they always do it. I don't think, definitely not next week, but it almost feels like they only do it when the tribe gets boring.
Yeah.
And with the fact that you're dealing with 20 former champions,
there's not really a reason to shake it up yet, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You still do that later if you need to, but right now things are kind of rolling.
Now, did we think that Dakal had the advantage during the challenge because 2 days ago they were playing with Tony's ladder?
They're not afraid of anything anymore.
Well, Tony scaled that ladder without a problem because he knew he wasn't going to die on that one. I think we all laugh when we saw the ladder.
Oh yeah.
My first thought, Tony, this is the ladder. This is
right.
how you build a ladder.
Ladder, yeah.
What do we think of Sarah's covert operation going into the enemy lines?
Oh my gosh! How did they not get up? How did they not?
Well,
how did she let him spit on her face? Basically,
how did that one person have a spider on their head and still sleeping? That freaked me out.
Well, I think it gave me kind of like a realization of what it's really like to be out there sleeping, because that must be the stuff that goes on every single night. That they're just so like, they're not getting up to check it out because it happens so often. But at the same time, they're kind of like, is it coming closer? Is it coming closer? No, all right.
My theory was that there's cameramen and producers walking around there 24/7.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be like, wait, come on, we're sleeping, leave us alone. But they're in case something happens, they're filming 24/7. They probably just thought it was a camera person, and you just kind of forget, especially the newer players that have played recently. I think you're still used to the camera people being around.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I always forget about that. I don't know why. I think they're just not. There's not cameramen in them, but
because maybe I'm a light sleeper and I hear a noise.
Oh yeah, I'm a super light sleeper. I don't think I would sleep out there. I'd be in a basket case.
Yeah,
I can't sleep outdoors, and now that I've seen spiders around your body, forget it. I can't. Yeah. I'd be afraid to yawn.
I'd be covering up every hole possible because I don't want the spiders to go in there.
Well, when I fall asleep, eventually my mouth falls open. I can't help it. And so, spiders are going in your mouth. No.
Well, Jay said, he said last night, he goes, isn't it true that we eat 3 spiders a year and don't know it? I go, what? I've heard
that before.
I have enough trouble sleeping as it is. I know we eat a lot of dust.
I've heard the statistic that we eat a pound of insects a year. And we don't know it. It's just in our food, or it's here or there.
A pound?
A pound.
A pound of insects, man.
But whatever. We don't know about it, so it's all good. I'm not going to fret about it. Whatever.
I don't want to hear this.
Man, that Carol said Sarah was very brave.
She was.
I thought she was going to take Tony with her.
No, because I think she's stealthier than Tony.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's just when she said she's in listing Tony's help, I said, okay, but all right.
Tony, I think he would have made more noise. He's too.
Well, I think if Tony had done this challenge, I think all he would have done was like what you used to see in the old cartoons, where he was like a bush and then just move out of the bush.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been better just to take the torches with you and go further away from camp?
But then you have to bring them back in.
Why do you have to bring them back in?
Oh.
To me, that's unless there's a rule you have to. To me, if I'm hearing things in the middle of the night and they go, wait a minute, why are torches? Who messed with the torches? That's also, was it someone in our camp did that, or did someone come in here?
Or tribe, like they need any more chaos in their tribe.
I think it would have been cool.
Yeah, probably.
Because I was thinking the whole time, just pick up the torches and walk away with them.
Yeah.
Go 100 feet, go by the boat and just leave, go on the shore and sit there and use
dump them out then. Huh?
Dump them out and say, and you know what? I'm leaving them here.
Yeah.
And go away. And then they're like going, you wake up the next day going, I know I heard something.
Who did that? Who was that? Who was up last night? Was that you?
Carol says spiders are protein unless they're venomous.
No, I mean, if they're venomous, they're still protein. I mean, you can eat them before they.
Yeah, I can go without protein for a while.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, we found the weakness of JP. Look at that.
I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm more snake. I don't like snakes. I'm not a snake fan.
I'm perfectly fine if a snake is sitting still, but when they start moving, it freaks me out.
Well, we have some poisonous snakes around here, and we have good snakes around here. But who knows? They might have been all taken out when the trees got torn out and stuff like that.
I'm surprised they didn't come right in your house. They were running away from them.
Actually, I guess down the street they did. We got lucky. So
yeah, you did. Could have been way worse.
They moved on. Because again, I'm not snake guy. I don't mind the lizards. I'll pick the lizards up and put them outside again. But snake.
Jeez.
Really?
I can't. No, I can't. Critters I can't deal with. I had like a couple mice in my condo.
I don't like mice either.
I had to put out the traps where they poison them basically. Mm-hmm. I came home from work one day and there he was just laying there, sleeping. I'm sure sleeping.
Yeah. Sleeping completely.
Yeah, he looked very comfortable.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is what it is. I always just deal with it in a situation and then you move on. But
I couldn't live in Australia.
When I lived in Florida, we had scorpions in the house.
Ah.
I had scorpions when I lived in part of San Diego. I had one crawl right across I was laying on this carpet we had was the best. It was better than the couch. So I would lay on the floor all the time and watch TV. And I went, "The hell is that?" I go, "Oh my god!" So I got a box, scooped up, and threw it. We had rattlesnakes there and stuff too. So
the scorpion they got in my house, my kids saw it. We were eating supper, and it was going across, and we just had tile floor. And it was going across the floor, and one of my kids was looking over, and I'm like, "They're my Mom, what's that?" And I was, "What is it?" And I saw it, and it went under the couch, and I moved the couch, got the broom, and I start smacking it with the broom. I am not lying to you when I say that I probably hit that thing with the broom, the hard part of the broom, at least 50 times. And after 50 times, it was missing one leg and part of one of the claw parts. And then one of the kids got the door open, and I swept it right out the door. They're hard little suckers. They do not die easily.
You're lucky you didn't grab the broom and start hitting you.
Right? It was horrible. But anyway.
Well, I will say this though.
So we know JP's never going on Survivor now.
No.
I would never.
He's a Big Brother guy. They don't have any rodents in there.
Actually, I've heard they do have problems on Big Brother.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, in the garbage room. But no, I would never. I can't. Story I always like to share is a couple years ago at our beach house that nobody goes into in the wintertime except for me, more or less. But we came down. I think it was maybe around 4th of July. My mother found a dead bat in the bathroom, and rather than just getting rid of it, my mother made a big deal, and we had to call the police. And my mother was embarrassed at how the police were coming. The house was a little dirty, and the fact that my stepfather was walking around without a shirt on. So
She called the police because there was a bat in the house.
because there was a dead bat in
A
the
dead
Dead
one.
bat.
dead bat.
Like that, isn't that like animal control or something? Why would that be the police?
Just put
Did
it
she-
in a
did-
garbage bag and throw it
Did
away.
she put in a chalk outline or something for the who killed the bat? Anyway,
Anyhow,
on Survivor.
Right, back to Survivor.
Anything else that we should talk about that we?
Well, when in the previews for next week. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row where they've shown in the previews Sandra getting worked up about people in her tribe, right?
Right.
And so I feel like they haven't been to tribal; they've just been to one, right? And I'm wondering if, because we've seen this happen in other seasons, when a tribe, it's like they don't want to go to tribal, but sometimes when they don't go to tribal, it's like they can't release any of that pressure that's building.
True.
Do you know what I mean? And so they just
Especially Sandra.
yeah. And so if you can't get rid of that person that you think is annoying you the most,
right.
whatever, I wonder if it just starts to become a little toxic in the tribe.
Well, you brought that up. What was Tyson thinking about putting Sandra's name out there right now when there was no threat for them to go to tribal? Now I can see if we will ask, we're going to tribal. Yes, Sandra would be a name I'd bring up because there's not a lot of time for people to go scramble. Like when Yule went back to Sandra and said, "Hey, Tyson's bringing your name up."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so now that takes the target, I think, off Sandra and puts it on. I mean, Tyson should be smart enough to know that. I mean, I'm not bringing up any, but I would just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I could go with that, or so. I would. I'm not going to be the person unless we're going to tribal.
Right.
There's no reason, like you're saying, it's all built up,
But
whatever it is.
Are we seeing that in real time, or is that editing? Did that happen at that time, or was that something maybe that happened and they're putting it now? Probably not. It's probably, well, I mean, it doesn't matter, but
I've always wondered that because, again, I was watching, I go, why would you bring up Sandra's name when there's no reason to? Especially Sandra. Why would you because it only hurts you in the long run because people are afraid. Again, it's like Rob in poverty. They're afraid of her.
Right.
maybe
Right.
Tyson's getting sick of her.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
It could be, but I'm like, again,
Well, when
I
she
don't.
went to sit out, you saw what they were doing when she went to sit out. They were like, "Oh yeah, queen!" Like several people like shouted.
Yeah.
Out. Maybe people are.
Well, then you just wait till tribal comes to look. She doesn't do any of the challenges. Sure, she caught a shark,
Mm-hmm.
and she did let us know there are fish in the ocean because she kept saying, "I told you there were fish here.
There's fish in there.
There's fish in the ocean. Wow!"
Yeah. Novel.
But they did catch. If she was right, she put the net out.
Mhm.
They did catch a pretty good, baby shark, and it was do. But I personally, I guess my gameplay would be more like Jeremy, where I would not be. I'm not going to put a target on my back unless I have to.
Yeah.
I didn't think there's any reason for Tyson at that point to bring up her name.
But the thing for Sandra is Sandra doesn't forget. That is etched in her brain, and she's just gonna wait. And when they go, I wouldn't be surprised if she pushes for him. She does not like people putting her name out there. And then they show for next week, they show her getting upset again. So I wonder if things there are not so copacetic, and maybe they lose the next challenge.
Could be.
That's what. Yeah, I kind of walked away with that feeling where I think I know Celia's hurting, but I think next week we might see DeCall finally go to a tribal.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well, because it just can't always be one way. It's not one tribe is so much better than the other. It's just what happens.
Well, because it's been, like you said, each event for the most part has been pretty close.
Mm.
Right.
It takes their tribe too long to get to the puzzles, and they're always under the gun. They have to be perfect. And
they haven't done very many swimming ones yet.
No.
Everything's them running kind of obstacle things on the beach.
Right.
So maybe they're set for a swim one.
That would be nice. And Sandra, of course, will sit out.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the swimming challenges.
Mm.
But yeah, it would be fun to see them go to tribal because she's always good at tribal council. her comments are always, on the money. Of course, but having Rob on the other side too helps. I was thinking last night, okay, this is the final three. You have Rob, Sandra, and let's say Ben.
Oh, Ben.
Let's say Ben.
Okay.
No, for fun, let's do poverty.
Okay.
We have the power three. Who wins?
I guess
Who wins?
you have to think if we assume that every other person is on the jury, let's say.
Yeah.
Because
you already had Tyson say she's already gotten $2 million. Sandra's already gotten $2 million from Survivor. I'm not giving her another million. I'm not giving her another $2 million.
So far, based on Sandra's performance, I would say just because she has set out and she's not really putting her neck out there to actually lead the tribe in the challenges, I don't think Sandra wins.
I think
yes, Carol. At the very end, the final three. Fitz says, "Hi, I'm here late. I'm the person you thought was your mother, but isn't."
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Anyway,
good times.
So final three. There's no way it could possibly happen. But would that be great TV though?
Yeah,
if those three.
Oh, sure.
Because I consider those three people left to be the greatest players to play the game, right?
And they all get to tear each other up at Final Tribal. Ooh.
Who wins it?
I think, if Rob is really, really talking about retiring, I think they just give it to Rob so that he can number one also. Well, then poverty would also, but I was going to say, give it to Rob so that he can retire as the person who's beaten all the other champions.
Well, but Sandra says she's retiring as well.
Yeah, she did say that last night.
I don't think people want to see her be a 3-time champion.
I don't think they do either.
No,
I agree.
No.
So I don't think she's done much this. I mean, all we have to go on is what we've seen so far. We're not really seeing her shine the way maybe other people could shine. So then you take Rob and poverty, and I think of those two, I think Rob's been the more confrontational, making the move decision kind of guy.
Right.
And poverty's like she's with him because whatever. But I think Rob wins or should, given what
would it come down to jury?
Bitter jury, poverty wins.
Well, would it come down to
jury? Yeah.
Would it would it come down to jury? Maybe are there more men on the jury as far as women? Would that help Rob or hurt Rob, and maybe help poverty? Because I agree with you guys. I don't see them giving, unless Sandra's there with.
So far, I mean, she might turn it on. We don't know.
Yeah, but unless Sandra's there with two goats, I mean, it's hard to say goats in this game because they're all winners. But if she's there with two people that you're like going,
she's with Michelle and
maybe Ben.
Then Sandra wins.
Yeah.
Because Michelle, they don't think Michelle deserved it the first time. They're sure not giving her a second one.
Yeah.
I think if poverty wins, though, production doesn't want to have to build another idol statue. just give it to Rob and save CBS some money.
Not really, so they can reuse that thing.
Exactly.
I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be obviously it's not going to happen. I don't see there's any way it could possibly happen.
No.
Because I don't think any three of those are going to want to take either one of. They're not going to want to take the other two with them to the finale, to the final three.
Unless they think that they've sincerely played a way better game. But Michelle, B-Fit says Michelle was surprisingly good this episode. Well, we actually saw Michelle this episode, so
yeah. But she's been in every episode. Like I said, she's had more airtime.
That's way more airtime than she got her season.
Right.
That's because she's at Tribal every week.
Good point. Excellent point.
I know. I was just throwing that out for argument's sake. See what happens.
It's fun to play what ifs, right?
I like to play what ifs. Anything else that we have in this game that we need to worry about or talk about?
I'll tell you what's not going to be the final three is me at the final three of our stupid fantasy league.
Now we got a lot of weeks left. We got lots of time left.
Do you want to talk about the fantasy league real quick?
What, that I'm behind somebody who's not playing And only beating somebody who just joined.
Whoa. Well, if you look overall, if you look for the week, JP, you beat Jack this week. So you got that going for you.
Oh, great.
And you beat Got this week. So that was good.
I don't think did I have any points?
You had 150 for the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you did.
How did JP beat me?
Because he had bonus points. Because
bonus points.
he got his picks in before you did.
Yeah, that's all I got going for me this
Got to
week.
get him in before Sunday. Every little bump helps.
Oh, I didn't know that. You get extra points for getting them in early?
Yes.
I didn't pay attention.
And it changes too. Like how soon you get them in, the more points you get.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, I think it's 3 p.m. They cut.
Oh, well, I'm making my picks after this episode record, so I
made my picks yesterday.
That's it, JP. You're done. Now he's going to even beat you there.
Gee. Can I make the next week's picks 2 weeks from now? Now?
No. But because we record tonight, we could get them in today or tonight after we're done here, and then you're set and you don't have to worry about forgetting. It's right on your mind right now. So I suggest everybody who's watching make your picks right now. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna add every single time I have to ask. What?
Maggie scored more points yesterday than I scored in the first 2 weeks.
Combined weeks, the first 4 episodes. What happened?
Fitz said, "Does the red team lose next week?" I go, I think we agree they're going to lose next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ro, she had the most points for this week. Then me, then Randy, Maggie, my sister Callie, then JP, then Jack, then Got. And
at least I beat Got.
I think Carol forgot to put hers in.
She said she's making them right now.
Okay, Carol, don't forget this week, okay? So that's for the week. Now, overall standings, when you factor in all 3 weeks, we got Maggie the Magnificent. Just with her first week, she is in 10th place, but she's hot on your tail.
She's closing in on me already.
Oh my gosh, she's catching up to you. Then JP's in 9th place. Then
Carol's abandoned characters.
Yeah, because she's not playing that one, so that one doesn't count. Okay.
Yes, it does, and it hurts right here.
right
here.
Well, it's gonna feel so good when you pass that one up. Then you get ahead of it.
That's like I'm one place behind the team that disbanded.
And then Scott's in 7th, Randy's in 6th, then Carol's the one that she's playing is in 5th. Then my sister's in 4th. Then Ro. Jack, you're in 2nd place. And this week, I'm in 1st place.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. Oh, please. I just picked good. What can I say?
Well, Commissioner has ways of cheating, right?
No. If only.
I'm sending an email to the Houston Astros for next week.
Here's another thing, and I'm sure that
I keep hearing trash can noises from you. You'd have to know. The Astros.
Oh, is that one of those sports ball things?
Yeah, sports ball things. Yeah,
I don't have that gene. Okay. But what I was going to say, when you're making your picks, it always says at the bottom that you have to save them. If you don't save them and you leave that page, it doesn't save your picks. And lots of people have, it shows that you didn't make your picks that week. And lots of people are like, I thought I made my picks. And then there's nothing, right?
Right.
So always make sure you save. And here's the thing. If you go back in because you can't remember if you saved them, don't go back into the screen where your saves are because you'll have to save again. Just go to your main page. It'll show your things right there, and you can look. Because you go back in, now you got to do it again. So.
Okay, there are my picks. I got them.
Oh, you got it? Well, you got your bonus will be better than mine. Well done.
Bonus picks.
You'll get one more bonus point than me.
Nice. All right, now comes time to who was our go ahead.
No, the MVP. I'm pumped for the next part.
Who is our MVP of last night's episode? In the chat, you guys can
Yeah,
offer
what do you
too.
guys think?
Because I really don't know. I mean, I have one, but it's like technically, do they deserve to be? I'll say it. I think it's Natalie.
Oh,
I think she's played great on Exile Island. I didn't understand the vote yesterday, so I'm really not going to reward anybody because
That's actually really good.
My mom just said the same thing. Natalie was MVP because also she has to guess right because we didn't really talk about the tokens. She gave Sarah the option to do it. Now, what if someone said, she doesn't know who has tokens, who doesn't have tokens.
But she knows what's going on, though. Do you think when the new person comes, they all are getting there on the island? They all know they had tokens.
Yeah.
Do you think she's trying to find out who they gave their token to?
I'm sure she does.
Because then that's the person to go to because they'll have at least the one that they had plus the one that person gave. So they're more.
But someone made a good point. Yes, Twitter or Facebook or maybe it was the podcast where someone said, did they know that Sarah used it successful before? And that's why she gave it to Sarah.
That's true. Yeah.
Because people have had that before, right? And not used it properly.
Right.
And it's like, do I want to get away my token? Do I want to give away my token? But having an advantage, I mean, again, she has to guess right each time. Mm-hmm. She could have sent someone says, I don't have a token, or it's not worth me giving up a token for this. So my MVP is Natalie. I obviously she's not in the game and her odds are winning it are slim, but I'm going to go with Natalie.
She's still playing. She's still playing a game.
Yeah.
She's beating the other people she's playing that game with right now. So.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My mindset was I was focusing on people that were still in the game and not on the island there, but that's a really good pick. Actually, I think as far as yesterday's episode was concerned, she played like the most game, really. I mean, I mean, just the way she didn't really even give them an opportunity to solve the puzzle by breaking up the shells and
right.
And I first thing that popped into my mind when she did that though was whether or not they were going to call her out for some type of interference or something. But I guess once she solves the puzzle, the clues.
I don't think there's anything like that, but I think it's as long as you you just can't hit anybody.
She had to figure out that was the clue, though.
Right.
There was always there was that season of Amazing Race where the two guys, the thing with the bikes, and then they hit the parts.
Right.
Well, they have that rule in Amazing Race, but I don't think they have that because you remember when Rupert was taking all the stuff.
It's the pirate.
We're pirates.
It's the pirates of it. I mean, so you don't have that. You don't have that in. I don't think it's the same thing in Survivor.
Well, also once she solved the puzzle and got the clue out of it,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And then by breaking up the shells, at least they won't figure out how to figure it out.
Right.
Now, I can't imagine them just stopping and not trying to. If she did lock it back up, you got to think that Danny and Amber are still trying to figure it out. Now,
and she has to continue to pretend she doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
She also has to pretend.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I can't figure this out. It has to be something like that because. I mean, that's
you're not eating, you're not sleeping, and all you want to do is go rest, but you got to continue to pretend you didn't get the thing you already got.
Yeah. Where is this clue? Where are we going? Okay, I'll go look this direction. You go to look that direction. I'm gonna take a nap for an hour and a half.
And it's not just this week this week's episode. It's those other ones that they didn't get. What about last week? Is Amber still trying to figure that one out from last week?
Yeah,
I have to say
that's true because she didn't know that Natalie got that one.
Right.
You have to assume though, also at some point, maybe the clue just kind of the puzzle goes away.
Like they just remove it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it's part of production that we don't see.
I would say I wish they.
Well, they can't take away the well. That's where the one was. It was in the well. Remember?
Oh, yes, they can.
The well's still there.
Or they say you only have a certain amount of time to solve it.
Right.
Time's expired.
But I think they should. I wouldn't if I'm production. I just
let them think those are all in place still. Whatever they are. Yeah. Really interesting. Okay, I guess I'm gonna pick Sarah, I think, just for her stealthy moves, but that's really all. Just because that was kind of, I don't know. I think I would be so scared to do that, but
because she let Tony put spit on her face.
oh my God, that was the best part. Yeah, she did not care. Like, let's rub this stuff all over and okay, whatever.
It works better with feces.
Oh no.
It would.
You don't need the ash.
You needed something to mix with the ash. It's better spit than probably seawater. Seawater would just. You can clean it off later. It's not a big deal. God, JP, you're such a city boy. Jeez.
Is that what you reckon?
I reckon you are. Yeah.
Mike C says, Miami Mike goes, so when do you think the tribe shakeup is coming? 16 or 15? Two new tribes of 8 or 3 tribes of 5?
Oh, I hope they don't go 3 tribes.
I can't. I don't like that.
It's too much. You don't get very much of anyone because they have to keep flipping around. I don't like
it. It only lasts 1 or 2 episodes.
I don't like 3. I hope they don't do that.
But the 3 tribes of 5, I think the reason they do that is to get. It gives advantage to the luck. You might, a Rob or Poverty or Sandra might have a better chance of staying in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends. It depends on who goes next time. And I think somebody was saying, B Fitz was asking, do we think Red Tribe loses next week? Red Tribe is Sandra's tribe?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I don't know the names. I just know it's Sandra's tribe and Rob's tribe. So I think we think so. I think we already said JP and I both thought they lose next week. So if they do, then maybe that helps even it out a little better that they don't have to do a swap or a mix up yet. Do you know what I mean? I think that's another indicator.
I think the reason they do mix up is because a pre-game alliance, right?
Mm.
And to break up alliances that are already made, because you got to be thinking there's got to be some alliances that are.
You would think, but they didn't really come out, did they?
No.
I mean, obviously, there's the Rob and Amber alliance. I'm pretty sure they had an alliance before.
I don't know.
But it depends. Did he leave the seat up that morning before they showed up?
I've had it.
Maybe I'm over you, Rob. Maybe you could just stay on that island all the time with your big giant head.
He does have an ego.
But you haven't really seen anybody else pop up and go like, oh yeah, like we planned or like we talked or like you know what I mean?
Or they're not showing it because they don't want us to know.
That's true.
I think it would be an interesting facet of the game, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
I mean, to pretend that it doesn't exist is silly.
You need to, by the way, Jack, you need to tweet Jeff Probst your idea about having human idols.
I think I did before.
No.
Jeff just ignores me. He just
still.
Yeah. Just I think he hated my audition tapes and just said, "Screw you, leave me alone."
He's like, hey, this is a really good. It's that Zamboni guy.
That naked guy. We already had one of them. We don't need another one.
That's the guy. That's the guy that always criticized my talk show. I watched it at first. I gave it a shot.
So
I'm just going to forward this idea to Richard Grieco.
Hey, who's your MVP, JP?
Come on, JP, pick.
I said Natalie.
Okay. I
didn't know you were also agreeing because that was also going to be your pick. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was really stumped on this one, and what I said was I was more focused on who was still in the game playing, and then based on what Jack said, I mean, I agree that she really, this was almost her episode.
Yeah. Now, if they had voted out Poverty or Rob, then you got to give it to someone
who
on that tribe, but. Again,
if they'd actually gotten rid of a threat,
because everyone, it's not just us. It's 90% of the Survivor community I've seen is still shaking their head over the Ethan vote. It's like I don't get why Ethan.
Oh, Mike.
Again,
that fast fact there from Mike. The spy shack that Rob and Sandra were using at Tribal last season. That was an idea that came from Jimmy.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Oh, really?
I liked that. I liked that a lot. I like having a peanut gallery over there.
Oh, sure. We can listen to Jimmy Fallon.
See, you have a chance. Jack, you have a chance. If Jimmy Fallon can get an idea on the show, so can you.
Okay. I'll work on it. Me and what's the other guy? What's the guy?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I got to shoot for. That level of
right
of greatness. I don't think that's too late for that to happen. Anyway.
So now we got to say, who do we think's going next week? Any predictions?
I think if they go, I think Tyson.
That's why. Yeah.
I think Kim would be the logical choice because we don't even see her, and she's been shunned from the group. But I think Tyson opening up a can of worms was a mistake, and especially when Yule, you think is probably he went to Sandra right away and said, "Yeah, Tyson, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
So I think if they lose, it's going to be and plus Tyson's a threat to win. So. If
it's a spiteful vote next week, they're going to probably push towards Tyson. You know, if Sandra controls the vote because Tyson opened his mouth.
Mm-hmm. I could see it being Tyson. I think she'd be able to pull people for it to be Tyson. And there'd be people over there because they haven't been to very many tribals that would be just, oh, at least it's not me.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, why not Tyson?
Yeah, so if they lose, I think it'd be a fun tribal too. And we haven't seen it. We haven't seen a lot of Tyson other than background.
Mm-mm.
He just hasn't been because usually he's the guy stirring the pot. He's the guy, But again, I just thought it was a mistake.
They know he's capable of that. Then.
Yeah, but I just thought it was a mistake for him to bring up when there was no reason to.
Exactly.
That's how he's getting too comfortable with those people he was talking to. Then that he thought it was time to say that when there's no reason to say it.
I like this flame boxer shorts though.
Miami Mike says, Jackie, you donate 100,000 like Sia did, and Jeff will listen to you. Would he take $10?
Yeah, right.
Would he take? I can donate 10.
Hey, we can start a GoFundMe just to get your idea in there. I mean, we could get a $100,000 GoFundMe thing so you could.
Can I just take the 100,000?
Oh, well then that's
and donate it to me.
You get in trouble for that if you use it for something.
That's true.
I think they frown upon that. But
all right.
When this is over, Fitz said, when it's over, I'm going to go back and listen to what you all said about Adam. Basically, to sum it up, it was we want you to go back and listen, but we thought he just was. There was no reason for him to do what he did.
Yeah.
Adam.
Well, at the very beginning of the show, is she saying because
we said that Adam there was no reason, and he ticked off his tribe, his alliance.
Yeah,
he's playing both sides basically.
Playing both sides.
So that's always dicey. If people are you play both sides, but you never think both sides are going to talk to each other and figure out you're playing both sides.
He did overplay. Well, when you do something on that scale, again, you're talking about people that have played the game before and have won.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we think they're the weakest person in the group, still they've won and they've played the game. You don't want to be that guy that rocks the person that rocks the boat. Yeah. This is the vote 5-0. Okay, we're all voting for poverty. Fine, let's go about our day.
You don't want to be the person who's like making sure and coordinating with everybody else. You don't want to be the person. Is this what we're doing? Are you sure this is what we're doing?
Yeah, because I'd be like, what do you care what Rob has to think? Our goal is to get Rob out before he gets to the jury.
Right.
Why did Adam even care that they were talking about poverty? Because he was the one that told Denise, you can't give it to poverty. So it's not like he loves poverty or thinks she needs to stay in the game. He doesn't want her to have any advantage. So when they start talking about poverty, don't you just go like, okay. So you can understand because he thinks he's going to get in good with Rob on that. That's the only reason. And that's
again, like Rob said, have you not seen me play?
If poverty's gone, let's say he doesn't open his mouth and they vote poverty out last night. Then now Rob's still weakened. You can still make friends with him. You still get on his good side. That was weird.
I would just love to see them try to put Rob into a position where he is at the bottom of one of these chains, so and struggling to try to stay in the game.
He definitely needs a merge.
Yeah.
Or a swap right now. He needs something because he is weakened. But again, he shouldn't even be in the game, and he at least should have a vote.
We thought he was weak the second he hit that beach, and look at what he's doing. So honestly, he always rises to the occasion of whatever the challenges that he needs to do to make it another whatever 3 days. He does it. So
he must have read his own book.
Well, someone read it. That's good. Anyway, that's all. That's all.
Got him for Christmas that year, probably. Yeah, Ma, here's a book for you.
I signed it.
I got plenty of copies.
All right.
Anyway, another great show, guys. I can't wait for next week. We'll be back here next Thursday at 9:15 again.
Sure, let's do it.
All right, and as long as JP's last, the world is good. Hopefully, I won't get bumped out, kicked out. But if you like what we're doing, give us thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe. Yeah, if you subscribe, you can join us in the chat.
Yeah.
And Mike kept it pretty clean today. Let's just say that.
He was good behavior today. So
yeah, and we didn't give him a timeout or anything, but he did it on his own.
It came from the heart.
And I forgot, this Saturday morning, I'll be live with the Lost Rewatch Continues, the end of Live Together, Die Alone Parts 1 and 2 with Josh Wigler and Mike Bloom, who are in the Survivor community. If you're subscribed, you can join us live and chat with them.
Ask them questions.
Ask them questions. I'm sure they would talk about Survivor too. So we were going to do it last week, but someone had the sniffles and couldn't do it. So I say sniffles, but they were sick.
Sick's not something to mess around with. So.
No. Fitz, call your mother. I talked to her enough. Anyway, Mike C, I guess, was only good because he showed up late.
Oh, he thought he had to overcome that deficit. I get it.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, that's all. Anything else, guys?
That's all I have.
All right, guys.
Don't forget to get your picks in if you're playing.
Picks are done.
See you next week.
Mike did before you go. Mike says, "When does the fighting start tonight?" We talked about that earlier.
Go back and listen to the show to find out what happened after that.
Christy, do us a favor and go out there and instigate.
Yeah.
Oh, please. No, these two love each other. They're my Irish twins. They're only 16 months apart. They love each other.
Break it up.
Right.
My youngest, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.